Just setting up my system because gotta clear some stuff. Check my audio too. Testing. Okay. Alright, let's see. How was I gonna go about this? I have a gun too. Alright, so here's what I think the problem with Phantasy Star truly lies at. The absolute point. And it does kind of start with this armor. It really does. The armor, how it's made free, and it quite literally solves a majority of your problems. But you see this number right here? Now look at this number right here. Oh no, I can't enter it because my level isn't high enough. And it's clearable 2 times. What am I going to do? I guess I'm going to... Wait, that drops from that boss? Mods and Dread Keepers. I guess it's also part of the action too. Oh, half a knowledge drop from here too? Oh man. I gotta get better somehow. I gotta get more points. How do I do that? I mean, aside from the obvious leveling up, will leveling up be enough? Actually, let me really remember that number for a second there. Now I'm curious. Oh boy, the campaigns. I think it was 4336, right? Alright, 4334. 4340. Alright. 4334. Alright. That does sound quite important to have. Well, we can't really go into that, really, unfortunately, because our level isn't high enough. We assume that, well, once I reach level 100, I'll be able to do anything, right? That's all, huh? I wouldn't have to do anything else. I wouldn't have to upgrade my gear, compared to what all the other people have been saying this whole time about why. You know, why would I need to upgrade my gear? What the game gives you is enough. I mean, there was a time where that sort of thing just simply wasn't necessary. It's not necessary because the developers just think that, you know, you need to focus on other things other than the actual gameplay. We had a system. We had stuff like this. Stuff that was bad, but bad enough that you wanted to actually, you know, upgrade your stuff. That's all. And the sad truth is that this Ajax armor is on the same level, or offers the same potency if it was bare bones, by the way, as that Ephesus armor. It's just too much power that's free that's given to the player. To players that feel like, well, we don't have to try anymore. And they did this 3 times. 3 times they've done this. They really felt the need that players just... Like, what is so bad about just having players left out? At all. A little level 84 player like myself, who doesn't have to use Mars, by the way, can enter something like this easily. My level's super low. Like, is there anything worth going for the urgent quests anymore? Really, they should have treated every damn weapon like a key, almost. That's what they should have done. A key that could be able to access other environments and stuff like that, or other, you know, other cool stuff. But no. They want to just treat them like accessories. That's the problem. There's just no fear of missing out. I've rarely seen that whole fear of missing out when it comes to these urgent quests happening and stuff like that. And when I was a leader of an alliance, I was trying to get people together. but people's levels weren't high enough and stuff like that, and it was just like the typical, oh, your level's not high enough, oh, you don't have enough skill points or something like that. Was the game suggesting I didn't have enough skill points too, by the way? Not that it really matters, honestly, because we're talking about 15, well, 16 something levels. Surely it'll be fine. I mean, I can understand the whole death thing not being much of an issue because you have like 12 other players with 5 other, whatchamacallit, healing items and stuff like that. That's understandable. You'd be healed over 100 times, and it would be no big deal. Now I'll probably level up immediately. No big deal. Happens all the time, really. I probably have a booster somewhere. Where's that darn booster? If I have it. I'm sure it's somewhere. I think I keep my boosters over here. Wow, am I gonna have to buy a seasonal thingy? Might have to. Mission pass. Yeah, mission pass. I can even stomach the mission pass to begin with. They want to go with that few people? Nah, wait, just wait. I say. Anyway, that's why I think Phantasy Star is missing. They're missing the fear of missing out. Players seem to have the sense of, I will, even at level 100, there's still room for improvement. But meaningful improvement. Actually, let me be more specific. For access, that's what it needs to be about. Because when I play Fortnite, as much as I hate Fortnite and what it is, I still end up playing the game. Because there's always some sense of urgency. You know, things are happening and you have to get into, you have to be ready. Some people can, enjoy what they have and just kill people and just get their loot from off other players and stuff like that. Me, I like to collect gold and stuff. So I had to do little side quests and stuff like that. While still trying to survive and stuff like that. Even though survival really doesn't have no meaning to me whatsoever. I'll end up, well, I can't really say the thing I want to say, personally told, but let's just say I don't value, I didn't even understand what just happened there. I'm sure it'll be fine. Why would I need to think about it? I forgot how to aim on, okay. I almost forgot, why am I doing this again? I mean, I would say a hot fix to all these problems is getting money. Truth be told, that'd be the easiest hot fix. Because some of the, whatchamacallit people have already mentioned it already. Just make it to where, we just get a lot more money in various, depending on where we, decide to dig around, by the way. Even places like the coal places, a reason to actually farm and stuff. Because that'd be great too. And they need that. Did. Oh, it comes armor. Wait, someone's about to say someone was an Xbox player, but, you know, of course there's Xbox players. They got the game first. I didn't die instantly. And as goofy as the battle power thing was in the game, I think it was important. It was. It being stressful was important. It being something you had to keep in mind about what you need to do about, and it would cause people to, oh, I don't know, ask for assistance. It was a community after all. Was it really that much to just ask about stuff? I mean, for those who are serious about the game anyway, they're gonna probably ask eventually. I mean, those who actually care about the gameplay and the community. But yeah, we understand those people who are solo at the game, but are they really worth, you know, catering to the solo players at all? And we need the ones with the community to actually flourish a bit more. We have no idea if they had a reason to even pay money anyway. I mean, even as cheap as I was, I still put about, like, maybe about 40 bucks into the game. A little bit into a draw. And what else? A little bit into a draw and the Sonic outfit that I totally believed that was the coolest thing to get. Because I knew that something would be exclusive. That's what I believe. It was a fashion thing that was never gonna go old. That's all I wanted. Oh, and maybe an upgrade to the gunner class too, by the way, because they need stuff. The fact that they don't get that much when it comes to their secondary weapons just seems kind of silly to me. Might as well be included, really. Alright, my Mars. So can we bring that back, Fancy Car? I mean, picking people off really isn't that bad, honestly. There's a sense of urgency. It's just kind of important to have. Oh wow, 2 monkeys. The fight with 1. I am really surprised it doesn't kill me in a single hit. Yeah, I'll get my Mars later. He probably died because he was fighting Implode. And it's like, of course he's fighting Implode. Even after all that, I'm still alive. Alright, there was something about memorable, whatchamacallit. We do need more memorable content. So where did that go? We don't have any memorable content. Actually, the Sonic one. That was memorable. Everything else, I don't know. Oh wait, the question festival, that was memorable. Because of how hilarious it was done. He's almost dead. Alright, I don't have any code for the character. This is my least used file. I have noticed I want more investment and more power, but there's another trial. Oh yeah, and I would change the gameplay up a little bit more. You know, and what kind of changes would I would suggest? So, maybe something about, you know, making each class's method of attacking more meaningful. Like, let's just say that any type of range or gunners just simply do more damage compared to everyone else when it comes to hitting weak points only, but then doing the worst type of damage possible if they're not hitting the weak points, period. And maybe making the melee fighters, you know, just do more focused, solid damage, I suppose, but being able to do a lot more damage if they're hitting multiple parts. That'd be pretty cool. And then forces, of course, the obvious, if you're attacking with the right element, you know, they do more damage that way, too. Of course, you also be forced to using the same stuff. Of course, every, I would say every element needs to come with some sort of status buff. Debuff, yeah, to some extent. Like another game that I remember playing in the past. I was close enough, huh? Surely he's the last thing, right? That takes care of that. Oh no, that's right, I was in a party so I couldn't see my rewards right away. So let's see. There's just a money distributing issue. Not everyone keeps going to deck space and stuff like that. Sure, it was cute for a time when people kept going to, what was it called again? Retem L Note. And then deck space became the best one. And they had an interesting idea when it came to those dark world thingies in each region. I mean, just do that, but add more money to it. And it's sad that the whatchamacallit, what is it called? Alpha testing place? The alpha testing place kind of lost its luster almost immediately, really. Are any of these wars worthwhile? Let's see. I guess that's the new 60+ weapon. And maybe having some armors at 60 would be great too, so people would be more inclined to switch over. It's like, I don't know. Like, how how exciting is it to get these items when we kind of already have these already? Well, I guess I meant to say, whatchamacallit. I think you still have to exchange them to get these, like... It's just, I don't know. We'll just take it all. We need a new method of, we need a new place where we can farm it and stuff. You know, we need a new place where we can farm money and actually feel like it's something different for a change. We need to bring back the importance of the battle power so people can have the urgency to upgrade, genuinely. Because honestly, I mean, looking at that, I didn't even finish the story. I haven't even unlocked Mars. Even though people say Mars is important, battle power and stuff like that and hitting harder, it's optional. Only optional and stuff like that. And if you don't need the materials that the boss drops, then well, there kinda isn't really a point and stuff like that. It's just the player is just too stacked. I mean, they should have just never given the free armor to begin with and stuff like that. We had seasonal events, and they were good enough. The seasonal events probably need to be high enough to where certain players can get in there. And I mean relatively high, so people could, the top players could reap the benefits and stuff like that. And lower players just have to keep grinding elsewhere just to get the points. They have an opportunity to do it, but missing out. But it's like, it's okay. There's always the next one, right? Just raise the roof. Raise the roof so people will be willing to actually go and upgrade. Because as far as you're concerned, really, the only thing worth spamming is usually the limited time quests, right? Why would you spam the other stuff? Why would you need that other power? To get a bunch of materials that you may or may not sell off and stuff like that? Maybe. But I haven't got a rare drop in a long time, really. The Wing Guard was the most rarest thing I ever dropped. And I get that that's how Phantasy Star used to always be about. Playing a thing over and over and over and over again until it finally dropped and you got the rare thingy. I got a bunch of rare boots that was like Wicks or something like that. Very rare. And I just don't understand. I don't understand how that's it's just meaningless is what it is. So meaningless. We need more meaning into the game. Or it just makes it hard to play. Like after that, I don't know what else I would really do beyond this point. Aside from staring from this confused, gigantic balloon having person over here, because of course, you know, I just don't even know how people do that sometimes. We don't know how they do it. It's just funny. And then they just stand there. I almost never see them in combat, by the way. What, does it ruin the outfit if you're out there fighting for the combat or something like that? And here's another thing, too. I understand that this is a hub, a place of peace. What if that wasn't always the case? What if the urgent quests came to this community instead of us going to it? Like, after a certain time frame, you, the player, need to bolt out of there before something terrible happens over here. Or you would just stick around just to fight or something like that. Because all the other players would just have to scurry out, make sure you have a fully functional team, and maybe you bring more excitement, you know. They've proven that this place can be used for some form of combat. I mean, you already have most of your skills anyway. I don't see what the difference is. And obviously this place would be a bit more exciting, really. And yes, some of the other places are a little bit smaller compared to the others, you know. Much smaller. You might be thinking, but isn't that totally dependent on the story mode and stuff like that? Yes, a lot of that is dependent on story mode progression. Because all the other places simply couldn't compete with it. then where else the players would go? I don't know. They'd be out in the field somewhere. Out in the field, just chilling. Just trying to avoid the dangers of the world. I just don't think there should be any type of peace sometimes. That peace should just be temporarily ruined and stuff like that. Because I get it. Some people just can't help themselves to be away from keyboard. They figure, well, as long as we're not in slowing down the gameplay for other people, or farming, you know, yeah, farming for people, farming for ourselves while other people farm for us, should be no big deal, right? Shouldn't be. We should just be able to do that sort of thing easily. And I disagree. Has there even been me talking, or am I just not paying attention? Maybe it's a bit more quiet now because people actually want urgent questions, but let's be real here. Most urgent questions about 15 or so minutes in, so are we gonna just disprove the 5-1 allegations, or they're all like this? Okay, sure. Well, a perfectly average girl, so that's rare to come by, honestly. Let's see if the beginners are being stalked by the people who are looking for alliance players, because I admit I did that too. And I don't regret that decision about not adding that other player to our alliance because his level wasn't high enough and I required some degree of commitment to the game, because honestly, there was no point. Honestly. I just want to make sure I'm seeing this correctly. Alright, so it's the hat. Oh, he's a damn new player.
Your efforts are appreciated.
Well, they're new to the game, but how new are they? 7, 8, okay. What kind of equipment does a new player get anyway? Okay, no armor. What about the little dude next to you? No armor whatsoever. Just your gun, the prim. Do I have the other emote on here? And they left already. Wow, that was pointless. Okay, sure, no problem, no problem. 2 minutes left. What else is to mention about this rant? Let's see. Obviously, fear of missing out needs to come back to the game. That's what needs to happen. People need to have the fear of missing out because A, they're simply not strong enough, they don't have the equipment and stuff like that, and people are going to have to be forced to talk to other players. That's super important. You know, you understand there's people that are like to play solo, don't want to involve with anyone else, but let's be real here. How solo can you possibly be in this game? Genuinely. You might still go through the urgent quests and stuff like that. You still might do a couple other certain quests and stuff like that, but other than that, you know, you just... Well... or does solo just simply mean just not being in alliance, really? Like, you're okay with having a few people to mess around with, but just, you don't want to mess with alliance or stuff like that. You don't want the extra benefit that comes to being in an alliance too. And I do feel still genuinely sorry for the people who don't get enough benefits from alliances at all. Because I can still access this garbage, by the way. Man, these rewards are so old. I need to upgrade these rewards for the alliances. Real bad, though. I don't know, maybe some alpha reactors or something like that? To sell? Some additional money? Please? Let's see, what else? We've already talked about the armor, about how, that quest was able to be accessed so easily thanks to this armor. And you get this armor, by the way, after level 65. Which offers quite a bit, really. And those LC augments could have been a little light way of introducing the player into actually wanting to invest something. Something that was easy to get, easy to farm with, through repetition, and would have brought some life into the game. And we just kind of hampered pretty badly. What was this place called again? I keep mentioning it, but I can't remember the thing of it. What was it called? Ah, yeah, Lucille. When Lucille, I think, was first introduced is when they introduced that free armor stuff. It was like almost ruined, really. If it wasn't for that weapon, that Veshmail weapon they introduced, along with it, it would have been absolutely a waste of time. So we got lucky. Very, very lucky that it even was implemented the way it did. But could have been even better if they had just not added the free armor and stuff like that, because yes, believe it or not, there was free armor in Stia if you knew where to find it and stuff like that. And if you just asked, I'm sure players would have definitely invited you or something like that. You know, and that's just it. We had free armor. The Epidus, I forget what it was called, but it was found in Stia. You had to travel throughout Stia. You had to get decently far to get all three of the armors too, by the way. So it was good armor to find. And then your next step would probably, and if you were feeling lazy, is relying on the seasonal event to get you your armors, your silly little Ajax, and stuff like that. That would have been helpful. Okay, what kind of armor do they offer now?
Drop by any time.
Yeah, what is it they offer? One last look before I put this game down for a while. Of course, now that I think about what all the stuff they've given us, how can one possibly justify the usefulness of the armors now? How does one justify it? It's just gonna be a rehaul. They just went in a direction they can't go back from.